Hey everybody, Ace Liam here, and welcome back to my series where I'm going through the 18 Pokemon types and listing my top 10 favourites of each type that I started like a year ago and I really dropped the ball with. Now this week is going to be my top 10 personal favourite Dark-type Pokemon, and rather than go on a spiel about how the Pokemon Dark-type is like a staple ever since Gen 2, blah, 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 you don't want to hear that. Nobody cares about that, you just want me to get into the list. But before we get into the list, just quickly, leave a like on the video if you're enjoying my content and you want to see more of it, and you'd like to see my content do a little bit better in the searches. Also hit subscribe if you're new, turn on notifications, make sure it's set to all, otherwise you barely get notified of the videos, and if you want to watch them, you want to be notified. Other than that, let's get into the top 10 Dark-type Pokemon. Go! Number 10, Bisharp. Now this is a Pokemon that I always pronounce the name of incorrectly. I normally say Bisharp, and I know it's Bisharp because it's based on Bishop and Sharp, but it can be construed in such a way that Bisharp is also correct, because you could say that it comes from the word bisect and the word sharp, and I know that's wrong, but that's my justification for saying it incorrectly. But just for you, because I'm a pandering hack, I'm going to say Bisharp throughout this video so that, you know, your little kiddywinks in the comments don't get too triggered, you know? But what can I say about Bisharp other than the fact that it is a really cool and intimidating looking Pokemon? Like, you would not want to meet that on a dark night, would you? It would absolutely slice the McChicken out of you, wouldn't it? On top of that, it gets the Defiant ability, which I've raved on about before. It's one of my favorite abilities, you know? Someone intimidates you, accidentally makes you +1 attack. Anyone uses any kind of other stat lowering move on you, you're at +2 attack, or maybe even +4 if they use it over and over again, because NPCs are stupid. It's a really enjoyable ability, and it works so well for this Pokemon that obviously is going to be a physical attacker. Bisharp just works, it looks cool. It's one of those Pokemon where you never really hear people saying, oh, we should have a Mega Bisharp, because it's one of those Pokemon that just works well without needing any extra evolution or anything, and that's all I have to say about Bisharp. It's just really cool, really effective. Number 9, Zoroark. Now, apart from having that one decent movie, Zoroark is a really big fan favorite. People love this Pokemon, and I love this Pokemon too. Probably not for the same reasons, like, you know, I don't use DeviantArt, but I do think that this Pokemon is one of those that just absolutely will always have its place in the Pokemon fandom. Like its imposter ability, where it can impersonate another Pokemon when it comes out into battle, so you think you're battling against another Pokemon, but then you suddenly like,
wait a minute, Clefairy doesn't get foul play.
Why did I pick Clefairy? It's just one of those Pokemon that always seems to be a staple of so many different teams. When you're fighting people online, people love Zoroark, and I just really like it too. And on top of everything, it's just got a really cool look about it. Like, it's hard to look at Zoroark and go, that's not a cool Pokemon. It is a cool Pokemon, and it absolutely deserves a place in my personal list. Number 8, Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz is one of those Pokemon that just slowly but surely grew on me. Like, when I first saw it, honestly, I thought it looked crap. Didn't like it at all. And it was one of those where, you know when you see a Pokemon and you don't really like the design? A lot of people, myself included, will go, I ain't gonna use it, looks like garbage, never gonna touch that thing, it looks absolutely rubbish. But slowly over the years, I've had more opportunities where I've kind of been forced to use a Mandibuzz, or I've just happened to decide one day, might give it a go, never used it before, and I found it to be a really effective Pokemon. Granted, it was in Gen 7, and I was basically using a combination of weak armor to increase my speed, and then using Z Mirror Move, which is really, really fun to use. If you've never used Z Mirror Move, go and use it. It's fantastic. Quite a fun Pokemon to use, quite an enjoyable Pokemon, and slowly but surely I got used to the look of it and found that I quite enjoy how it looks. Like, I think it's quite cool. It's just one of those slow burner Pokemon where originally hated it, slowly but surely over time became an effective member of one of my teams, and I just thought, this thing's alright. I like this Pokemon, so well done Mandibuzz, you made the list. Number 7, Honchkrow. Finally, we're branching away from Gen 5. God, Gen 5 really did bring in a lot of Dark-type Pokemon, didn't it? I think it was like 15, 16 Dark-type Pokemon in Gen 5. It was a lot, but we're finally on to a non-Gen 5 Pokemon in the form of the Big Boss Pokemon. Now, Honchkrow is one of those Pokemon where at first look, you just think, mate, this bird looks really, really badass. And it does. It's not incorrect to say that Honchkrow, which is based on like a mafia boss, like a Don, absolutely looks the part. It looks cool, it looks intimidating, and stat-wise, it may be slow, but it packs a hell of a punch. Couple that with the fact that it can have abilities like Moxie, where when it knocks out a Pokemon, its attack stat gets even stronger, and it can have Super Luck, which increases its critical hit ratio, which is really, really cool, especially coupled with something like Night Slash. You can make Honchkrow a disgusting, unstoppable force. Granted, having said all those great things about Honchkrow, I don't tend to use it that often. Like, it's not a Pokemon that I actively seek out to use in battle all the time, but it's just got that firm place in my mind where I know I love this Pokemon, and I know it's really cool, and I know its capabilities. I just keep a very respectful distance from it. I guess that's it. Number 6, Umbreon. I'm not going to keep you long on Umbreon because, let's face it, who do you know that doesn't like Umbreon? Literally no one, so of course it's on the bloody list. Number 5, Crawdaunt. Shout out to all the fans of Bellatrix the Quarterfish, who eventually became a Crawdaunt. I don't really know the cry of Crawdaunt in one of my previous Let's Plays on this channel. You guys are OG. If you remember Crawdaunt and Bellatrix and all that, I mean, you've been here for a while, like, what, do you want, a prize? But seriously, Crawdaunt's a great Pokemon, especially when it has the adaptability ability, which increases stab from 1.5 times to 2 times. You can get a 2 times Crab Hammer off, which obviously increased critical hit ratio. That's an amazing move to use. Like, Crawdaunt can take things down in a scary way. People can underestimate Crawdaunt quite a lot, and I think that's what makes it such an enjoyable Pokemon to use. Like, you bring out a Crawdaunt and your opponent's just like, Crawdaunt? Really? Okay, what are you going to do with that? And then bam, hammer it. Crab hammer the thing to death. It's great. Love it. Crawdaunt, you're just bloody good, aren't you? Number 4, Mega Houndoom. I was going to put regular Houndoom in this list because I prefer its kind of simplified design, because I don't like that Mega Houndoom is a little bit over-designed, but then again, a lot of the Megas are that way, and I kind of don't like the Mega's ability because I don't like the fact that it slowly but surely decreases your HP when the sun lights up, even if it does give you a boost in power. But the raw power behind Mega Houndoom gives it that little edge for me over the regular form. It's a little bit quicker, it packs a hell of a punch compared to the regular form, and that just makes me like it that little bit better. I love the dark and fire typing together. I think it's a really, really good type combination to have, as, you know, we will know from another Pokemon that's going to be in this list a little bit later on. And of course, it's just a devil dog from hell, and I can't dislike that. There's this little emo kid, rock metal, little horrible, little grungy git inside me that just really loves that kind of shtick, and Mega Houndoom has that in spades. It's beautiful. Number 3, Krookodile. So we got a Pokemon that looks a bit like King K. Rool meets the Hamburglar. It's Krookodile, and what's not to like? Krookodile with Intimidate, Krookodile with Moxie, either are great choices. They're big, they're dirty, they're powerful. Dark and Ground, not a bad type combination at all. The thing is just, it's a quintessential Pokemon, is what it is. It looks the part, like it kind of looks like the animal it's based on, but it also is very obviously a Pokemon to anyone that looks at it. People who aren't even fans of the franchise can look at Krookodile and go, that's a Pokemon, isn't it? Like, that's one of them Pokemon, innit? That's what that is. It's just got that perfect combination of looks like what it's based on, looks like a Pokemon still, and that's absolutely perfect. Not to mention it's powerful, not to mention it's just such a fun Pokemon to use in battle because it just has so many great things going for it. From its base stats to its abilities, everything just works so well with Krookodile. It's just so well designed. Number 2, Mightyena. Now, Mightyena isn't just a Pokemon that I really love just because it's really cool to look at. Like, obviously, it is cool to look at. It's a hyena and looks absolutely incredible. Like, you would love to be walking around the Pokemon world and having a big, cool, majestic-looking hyena Pokemon with you because it's scary. It's intimidating. But on top of that, it's a Pokemon where it evolves fully by level 18. Like, Poochyena becomes Mightyena at level 18, and then already that early in the game, because it's an early route Pokemon as well, it has base attack of 90. Fearow does that when it evolves from Spearow at level 20. This does it at level 18. 18!
Nincada.
Like, before you're even at the first gym, you've got 90 base power and attack with this thing. Not to mention, when you're later on in the game and you're breeding Pokemon, you can literally give this Pokemon pretty much any fanged attack that is possible, which is really, really cool. I found this out when I got traded a Mightyena through Wonder Trade, and it just had everything. It had like Poison Fang, Thunder Fang, you name it. I know it learns some by level up, but it just gets the whole collection when you start breeding, and it's really, really versatile, really, really cool, and just one of the best dark types out there. Number 1, Incineroar. Kelsurprise, the bloody wrestling mark, decides, hey, my favorite dark type Pokemon is the bloody wrestler one, isn't it? I know a lot of people don't like Incineroar. Personally, Incineroar was the Pokemon that made me change my starter choice in Generation 7. Like when Sun and Moon were first announced, I was Team Popplio from the get-go. And then when Brionne, Torracat, and Dartrix were shown, I was like, I'm still Team Popplio because Brionne looks adorable. Torracat's alright. It's a cool Pokemon, but I much prefer Brionne. And then when the final evolutions were revealed, I was like, nah. Primarina, nah. I like Primarina. Really pretty Pokemon. Really effective Pokemon to use. Nice and bulky. But no. Incineroar. Look at that. Look at that Pokemon. Lovely, lovely, lovely Pokemon. I absolutely adore the fact that it's based on a pro wrestler and that it's based on a heel. Like, I'm the guy who, when I watch pro wrestling, I'm rooting for the bad guy. I want the bad guy to kick the crap out of the good guy. That's just who I am. I'm a horrible person. Why are you watching? But Incineroar, being a heel with its dirty, underhanded tactics, just ticks all the boxes for me, and I do think it looks really, really cool. I don't normally like humanoid Pokemon, but to me, Incineroar doesn't really look like a humanoid Pokemon. I guess it's got kind of a Thundercats vibe. I just think it looks like an absolute boss. I love everything about Incineroar. It's definitely up there in my list of my favorite Pokemon. I don't know if it makes the top 10, but it's definitely up there. It's certainly my favorite Dark-type Pokemon. And that's my list of my top 10 Dark-type Pokemon. Let me know your favorites in the comments down below. And of course, like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new. If you do want to support the channel like these lovely people down here do, my Patreon link is in the description. But until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.